Hello, and welcome back to another great PMA LCS match. We have a great one lined up for you guys tonight. It is Rhett versus HSS, and your play caster for tonight will be me, Maye, and the color caster for tonight will be Fudgy Ditters.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good to be back after my break of one day. So back on the cast and back to some PMA LCS action. It'll be pretty fun. Um, Looking forward to seeing some pop offs, some plays, and some ints. So Pog Champ, and let us know pre-game who you think is gonna win. HSS hashtag HSS hashtag RET. Throw that up there. Just base it on the players, and then we'll look at the comps and do it again.
Oh yeah, and we are into pick ban, and we see a Malzahar ban from Rhett. I'm trying to remember who is
Right.
on these teams. So we got on the side of HSS, you have Labyrinth in the top lane, Saga Slasha in the jungle, Violet Soshi Cat in the mid lane, Jingo Unchained in the bot lane, Jabberwock on support, and on the side of Retired, you have a Cal in the top lane, Beneficent in the jungle, level 50 Pikachu in the mid lane, and Sivan in the bot lane, and Gurg7 on support. And so we're seeing some pretty standard bans against Violet Soshi Cat from the side of Rhett, with Malzahar and Cho'Gath, and then an Olaf ban targeted at the, I guess the jungler of gosh, who would that be? Against Saga Sasha, and we see Rhett hovering the first pick Varus.
Yeah, the Varus is kind of interesting. Um, it's been pretty good, but there's the option here for HSS to go into a tankier comp and kind of force him into his not ideal on hit build, where I feel like his lethality build's been a little bit stronger. So it'd be interesting to see what HSS picks here up in response to that. Probably an AD carry, and I would imagine a support or a jungle. So there's the jungle.
Yeah, and picking Zac, very good. Just go to high impact early game tank.
Right.
He's very with his Z. He's got huge gank potential from anywhere on the map. So always
Right, and
like a
he's
Zac
he's also
pickup.
got that tankier side, where it could be interesting, where he could force Varus into building against tanks rather than against squishies. So maybe that opens up some squishier carries in the bot lane and mid lane. So we see the Caitlyn here, kind of getting in there for the range. Again, not great against the tankier compositions we've been seeing so far in PMA LCS, but a good champion for lane and a serviceable AD carry in the late game as well.
hmm I'm pretty sure Varus does do pretty favorably into Caitlyn, right? In the lane phase,
Varus
kind of.
can Varus can do well in the lane, especially with a
Oh,
support like
Janna.
Janna, who's able to protect against the trades from Caitlyn. Since you see her have to walk up, definitely a
Right.
big poke lane. So Caitlyn, what I'd be looking for in a support is some sort of sustain. Maybe a Lulu or a Morgana would be good, or Nami, just because those champions typically pair well with Caitlyn anyways. And when you can sustain up against the Varus Janna, that's when it puts you into a better position
And
against the lane.
we're seeing a Jarvan pickup, which I'm always a big fan of. Jarvan's just a very versatile jungler. Early game, high early game impact, so kind of matches Zac in that sense. Falls off pretty hard late game, but
Yeah, I mean he has some utility, and if HSS opts for the squishier carries and like a tanky
yeah,
front line, he has a lot of potential in the late game to just get on them with flash EQR. There's no getting away from that.
indeed.
So
Also, the attack speed buff that Jarvan gives with his E is underrated a lot of the time, and so if it's a non-hit Varus build, that Varus is definitely going to appreciate the attack speed from Jarvan.
yeah, that could be pretty significant overall. I mean, looking at it could be just a stack and on hit Varus build with Jan of Jarvan.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of
Um,
free attack speed for him if Janna goes the what's it called? I forget.
Arden
Yeah,
sensor.
Ardent Sensor. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, that was meta for like a whole year. All right, so we're looking at some more picks. So we see the Swain
Alright.
likely in the mid lane, but it could be a support Swain, which is good to catch out champions like Varus and Janna. But it does have some very flexible options here. So I think that's a good pick overall. Provides flexibility, doesn't force him into one role.
Yeah.
And then we see Vladimir Orin as bans from HSS, trying to take away some of the champions that it would be difficult to engage on with the Zac, as well as an Ari ban, again targeting Violet Sociocat, and Morgana ban targeting Violet Sociocat. So Valtez got pretty targeted. Champion pool pretty pinched. We'll see what she ends up picking here. We see the Shen going down. So what do you think about that?
Give me a second. I'm trying to fix audio.
Oh, you're good. You're good. It could
Oh,
be just my audio.
here, let me do this, and then turn on my headset audio so I don't get deafened when you talk.
Okay, okay.
All right, that should be better now.
There, can you hear me now,
Yeah, I can
guys?
hear you.
Chat.
Chat should be able to hear a lot better now too.
Okay, okay. So, we're looking at the Xerath pick, champion near and dear to my own heart. Very excellent mid laner, especially if you feel like your mid is outmatched. There needs to go up against some sort of assassin-y characters. Xerath's a very safe pick, does a lot of damage and supports the poke comp really well. And Kennen providing the follow-up engage for Jarvan or the primary engage if they need it from a flank. Kennen, I think, is a really, really good pickup here for their team fighting, but you'll notice they're kind of lacking a lot of the tanks that HSS has kind of acquired. So we'll see how that goes. And there's the Corki for Violet Socio Cat.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. Red does not really have a traditional tank, while HSS has two, and then Swain's also a bruiser, so it's gonna be, I don't know, pretty essential for Ret to position well in these team fights because it's gonna be tricky to live long enough against these beefy tanks. But we should be getting into league pick ban soon.
Yeah, we should. So let's see. So more about these comps here. HSS, I think, is a pretty solid game plan overall with the Shen on top of the Caitlyn potentially. That's going to really help out against the dive from Jarvan, which I think is going to be coming. So hopefully he'll be playing more of like the backline tank. Okay.
I think I adjusted it, so it shouldn't be as loud now.
I don't know. I'm just moving my mic farther and farther away.
I turned down desktop audio too on the OBS, so it should be better now. But
Messing with you. Yeah, my bad, guys. My bad.
I
We'll
think
roll with it.
I think it was just my. It's OBS seeing that, whatever.
Yeah, true.
No, not
Okay.
in game, post game. Oh, the scaling. Oh, the scaling. Oh no. Okay, you're just gonna see that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So it looks like oh Jesus. So it looks like what I'm worried about from Riot Games. Oh, I was wondering. I thought that was my client, dude. In front of the screen, I was like, why can't I move my client?
Oh, God, it's randomly getting bigger.
Yeah, big brain. Okay, let's see. HSS, I think, has to worry about though. They have a pretty solid composition for DPS, but they lack a lot of bursts, which I feel like would have been good against the champions RETs put forward. Like they don't have a particular like amount of tanks, so if you picked something in mid lane that's more like a Fizz here, I mean, it would just shred that entire team until they end up picking up a Zanya's on two of their characters. But I think the Fizz could have been good here as an option for more burst damage on your team. But I think Corky's gonna do an all right job at burst. I think he can usually burst about half with his rotation. So it sounded like he swallowed his my bad, dude. Oh,
So it wasn't loud enough for that. Make it 200% louder. They're like, oh shit, too loud.
300% volume.
Uh,
So it sounds like you gotta turn up your own
just
desktop
barely
audio.
hear me. Oh
Or
my gosh.
your mic on OBS.
Yeah, it's that.
What are you at on there?
It's at like the max for that. So
It
I don't
is.
know. Yeah.
Speak loudly. Yeah, she doesn't
Yeah.
play Fizz though. I know. I'm just saying there might be an opportunity for her to expand her champ pool to things that do burst damage, because I feel like people expect these sort of picks from Ally where they're kind of DOT based, but I don't think that's what's strong right now. And unless you're up against the tank composition, which we've kind of seen a couple times, and this is obviously not the tank composition, so it's like, yeah, the champion works, but I feel like if you go for something burstier, or pick the Ari maybe before they can get the ban off. That would have been ideal. Just to get in there a little bit more and take one of their champions out of the fight before it starts. Because when a Xerath's fighting, um, when a Xerath's fighting from the backline and he's not contested, you're gonna lose like every team fight, no matter how good your team is, your comp. So
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the damn audio, but
I mean, I can just keep talking if that's any help.
sure.
Okay. So looks like we're getting into game soon. We got the old spectator only delay, which will be fun.
Oh yeah, the good old.
So for 3 minutes, let's look at one more time the players and the matchups and what we kind of expect to see in each matchup. So it's going to be Shen top versus Akaut's Kennen top. So that matchup, I'd overall say, is pretty Kennen favored because he's ability based. However, Shen, if he can get the engage off top lane for maybe a gank from Zac, or even if he catches the Kennen out pushing on, which isn't what Kennen really wants to do, um, you could see the Shen take over. But I'm expecting the Kennen to be up in farm and potentially up in kills in that matchup. The Shen though is more of a team wide pick, so it kind of gives this buff to Caitlyn and Corki where they don't have to worry so much about being 1v2'd after he's 6. In the Jarvan Zac lane, I think Jarvan is just a little bit stronger early, unless Zac's able to find those good ganks with the Elastic Slingshot. So kind of looking forward to seeing how Slasha keeps up with Jarvan in terms of farm and tempo.
Yeah.
Because I think Jarvan just has the slightly stronger early game, being AD based, and not having to rely on getting health items and things.
Yeah, I really hope that Sven goes the on-hit Vars build here. I just think it'd be a lot better for his team. You already have decent amount of poke with Xerath, and I think they have. I think they HSS just has too much sustain for poke Vars to be viable. I think on hit would do really good because you have the Jarvan E attack speed buff, and you have the Jarvan or the Janna E Ardent Sensor buff. So
Yeah, I think the Varus, if he goes attack speed, it'll be good because he'll still deal some poke damage with his abilities, and not as much as Xerath, obviously. But he'll be next to that Xerath and able to help kite away the fight with a Blade of the Rune King, keep the carries, keep their tanks from engaging onto them, basically by using that utility that comes with the attack speed build, as well as just being able to shred the front line. When I don't think any of the other champions would really be able to do that, minus potentially Kennen dealing some damage with the Torment if they end up opting there, or Xerath with the Leandri's Torment if they opt there. But I think on hit Varus would be overall what best helps the team win. But that's not saying that he can't go the other build, because his bot lane opponents are not as tanky as they could be. So he could be using it to push them out of lane, get the big damage off, and try and keep up with the poke that Xerath's putting out, and synergize with that. So I could see it going either way. I would expect Sivan, knowing the player that he is, to probably go for the lethality build, just because it's a little bit flashier. But I would hope that in this environment, I think the on-hit build could do a little bit better. So yeah, and I think this Kalen's fine just going like a regular old Stormrazor build, or even just an IE straight up. Crit, big crits,
yeah,
big crits on little health points.
HSS also has a really strong mid game power spike with Corki and Caitlyn. Once they both get to 2 to 3 items, I think it'll be a pivotal time for them in the game to push that advantage.
Yeah, I feel like all Corki really needs to feel strong is that Triforce. Like once a Corki completes Triforce, I mean that is the biggest one item power spike you can have. And Allie knows how to use those alts well. So I expect Corki to come online probably around the same time as Caitlyn getting an item and a half with like an IE Zeal, something along those lines. But maybe a more difficult lane phase for the Corki, honestly, because Xerath, if they're able to hit the abilities onto the Corki while getting the farm, it could be pretty devastating because Corki's really short range.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And I'm just now loading into game.
Yeah, I am too.
So
Sub-Zeros.
yeah, and it just started.
3,
Yep.
4.
All right, we're good to go. Okay.
Cool beans.
And there's no in-game sound. Damn it.
Well, throw on the playlist or something in the background so we can hear
I'll just try to fix it.
it.
Uh,
All right. So as we load into game here, we see it looks like a standard 5-point from um, Team Labby Alley. I got it. What are the names? One sec. From HSS. There we go. I'm a professional streamer. So from HSS, we're seeing a little bit of a standard start. Looks like a standard start as well from RAT. No giant changes here.
I'm gonna
You
pause
can't
that 1 minute to try to quickly fix this.
Okay.
All right, paused at 1. Let me.
You can see here that that Sligo Slash actually threw out the ward though on the blue buff to try and see how Jarvan's going to path.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
I think that's a good move overall. Should be pretty helpful. I can hear my own thoughts and I'm scared. Yeah, dude, I don't want to hear my own thoughts
No, I
either.
don't want sound
That's why I
settings.
just
I want
talk a lot on stream.
Okay.
Oh shit, I have Janna top lane still. Whoops. I wish this was a Janna top lane. That would have been insane.
All right, I think we're good now. All right. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Coolio. So yeah, just the ward and recall. I don't think Sligo Slasha got spotted placing that ward, maybe, but looks pretty good. Lots of question marks on the map. Maybe just spam it. Question mark, you called it, yeah. We're question marking the cast because we had the pause. Alright, let's see. So it looks like Zach's starting topside. It's not typical, but it puts him a little bit closer to Raptors, which is a camp he does really well, so expect to see that go down, as well as the bot lane leashing red buff. They're faking a leash there in the bot lane instead of opting to get some lane prio, which I think is fine. You kind of want these pokey champions to push, especially knowing that your Zach's going to be coming towards bot lane at level 3. So if you can, not reveal that Zach's going to be coming down there, not get poked out super hard, Jabberwock. Wait for level 2, bud. Let's get some healing up in there. Pop those bots. Kirk 7, dude. Laying down the law on Janna. Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Mike, can you fix those champions on
I'll fix portraits.
Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know why the portraits always load in wrong, but it seems like every game they always load in
no matter
terribly. Lots of poke going down. Oof, man, Jabberwock is feeling the heat.
Yeah.
And Jingo Unchained in a 2v1.
Minimap doesn't fit the overlay. You don't fit the overlay.
Yeah, whatever. We don't play with max minimaps here. So seeing a little bit of a farm lead in top lane, but it's a pretty pushed wave. So I expect Labby to make that up when it crashes. Jingo and Jabberwock have been bullied straight up. Sivan and Greg are not messing around. Holy cow. Lots of damage coming down from Jabberwock and from Caitlyn as well, but it was just not close enough. I think Jingo still needs to be flipped with Jabberwock if you can. Oh no, wait, that's me. Huh? Okay. Y'all so needy, dude.
Getting from Slasha. Sivan having to burn flash. She is in some trouble here. Slasha flashing in, gets the first blood onto Sivan.
And that was the gank called out at the beginning of the game. Like, they're going to let them push and get some advantage and feel cocky, and then just get destroyed by a Zac eating in. So, TP Sivan, not having heal. Big gank top lane, Budnificent just going in. Labby just going down to the big old spear from Budnificent. Pretty excellent lane ganks to respond to that bot lane pressure that Zac was putting out. So, overall, 1 for 1, even gold. Now it looks like the Zac and the Jarvan both have a kill, so they might be looking to use that somewhere else on the map. I'd expect to see the Zap go mid here, or go for some invade cheese shenanigans. Yeah, looks like he's just invading. Jarvan's looking to be toxic. I can see the toxicity just rising in his bones. But Ali's pushed up, like, a third health. Like, a Jarvan's just gonna sniff this and say, like, yeah.
Holy shit, bear the beer. I don't have to gank lanes if I don't see him.
Why gank, dude?
Honestly.
Gank's not a good strat. You can't rely on your teammates anyways.
Kennan's taking a nice, healthy CS lead here in the top lane, and bullying this Shen out of a lot of farm.
Also, so Cat just like maximizing that champ. Oh, getting picked by the stun though. Good old W. The 1v1, an 80 champ versus a tank. Oh, it's a 2v2 now.
And yeah, they just get out. Classic.
I was expecting a little bit more action, more spice.
You want Wumbo audio? I can give you Wumbo audio.
Wumbo audio? Yeah, give him a big Wumbo.
Wait, we gotta right about there. All right.
Okay, so not a lot of action going on now. It seems like the junglers and the mid laners all going to bed. Waiting for Santa Claus to deliver them some kills or something.
Yeah, Sivan taking a healthy amount of damage from Swain WQ and Caitlyn Qs. I got some heavy poke down there.
Some good poke, but this gives us some time to say, you know, overall I think both these teams are going to do very well this split. Just looking at the compositions they're putting forward, they're really solid. The shot calling, Jabberwock, needing to work on getting not poked. But I think both these teams look very strong for the split going forward. Jingo and Chain doing some work here against the Gurg 7. Gurg using that shield to shit. Oh, coming down! What? What, bro? Labby, can you chase down the Sivan? No, there's a jungle there. I have to
sometimes.
Wow, that was a humongous Labby ulti. I mean, like, actually massive.
Yeah.
Sprinter saves the bot lane from a gank. Their jungle's bot, so that means they lose pressure. The Zac gets to go claim the farm top lane, so there's no real loss of gold for the team. But the thing is Kennen is really pulling ahead top now. Getting plates, getting farm. Getting ganked though. Under tower. Slash able to clear that wave.
Oh my gosh.
Tanking turret going really low.
Having to flash out, procking the phase rush though. God. Yeah, Slasha playing that perfectly, trying to clear the wave as fast as possible to get Kaut to take tower aggro.
Yeah, it was smart. It does leave a Kaut though with a level lead and a fresh back to match this Shen. Tier 7 pushing up really far. Jabberwock dead.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this Varus hasn't really committed to a build, but I see one longsword and I expect to see more based on that. Actually, what did he go? He went with Comet, so yeah, it looks like the American Sniper dream is real, yeah. That was a sick cue from Sivan.
Indeed. Oh, then Beneficent securing that scuttle narrowly.
That was this guy trolling this guy. Love trolling. Yeah, put Varus for sure. I think with the Arcane Comet, as well as the now it's completed lethality there. It's gonna be poke. So
yeah,
the double poke coming out is going to be interesting. We'll see if they're able to secure this, because it pretty much signals to me that they want to win in the mid game. So once level 50 Pikachu gets Luden's Echo, and Varus finishes 1.5 items, they'll be down to clown pretty much. Their team will be online, and there's not going to be much that HSS can do to respond until they get tankier. Yeah, that usually comes at 2 or 3 items. So.
Yeah, Xerath Varus is going to be some really heavy poke in the mid game. It's going to be hard for them to deal with that. HSS is just not going to be beefy enough yet to deal with that poke. But also, you do have the Corki, so if this Corki can get big enough and at least supply some poke back with Corki missiles, then I think there's good case to be made there. And with Cat already being 20 CS up on this mid lane and keeping a healthy 10 CS per minute almost, I think it's pretty
Yeah.
plausible.
Well, I think level 50 Pikachu is like mostly focused on keeping the pressure on Allie to like stay in lane, because Allie's been having to stay in lane at less than half health for a while, and now we're seeing her taking a back here, which I think level 50 Pikachu is going to be able to use to their advantage. Level 50 Pikachu also opting to not take teleport here, which I don't think is right. I think taking teleport against Corki is more than fine, just because they don't have a whole lot of all-in. All-in potential. Like the berry is more for like I feel like the assassin matchups that they don't really have.
Yeah. Hey, against 2 tanks, you they really shouldn't be able to 100 to 0 you. So then you don't necessarily have to take barrier in that sense. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, Panda. I don't think they're going for any tankier builds just because their team comp is going to be more of a peel comp. Centered around the Varus and Xerath. Like, going for the full poke committal is interesting, for sure. But they have a lot of it. I mean, even Kennen has a lot of poke. So they're just hoping to poke them out, kite back, and then hard engage.
Oh, Corki is going bot lane with this package. This is and Gurk7 going in, but they kill Jabberwock. But Sivan and Gurk7 are probably going to be in some trouble. Beneficent is responding with the Rift Herald drop top lane, but he gets taunted under tower and just barely makes it out with his life. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, they're getting ganked, and Gurk7 is flashing mastery as he knows he is very dead.
It seems like every match, all the things happen at once. So
yeah.
There's one kill top lane as well as a tower taken down for the side of RET. So they did a great job there, just like securing what they could there, but they didn't have the manpower to back up the bottom lane, so they lost the member. They lost the member on both plays, giving some gold back, as well as a dragon over now to HSS. So we'll see how worth that ends up being. First tower is a lot, especially on your split pusher, who's already basically. I think they have their first item in inventory right now, after they go back and buy here. So yeah, you see the proto belt coming out. So they're gonna be huge against the Shen, who's only building. It looks like no MR right now, which I don't think is correct at this point in the game.
It went Phage and Bomby Cinder, which is like Titanic is really strong on. Actually, no, that doesn't build into Titanic. What?
No, it builds into like. What I'm thinking, Black Cleaver,
Triforce, Triforce Shen. I mean,
that's a little bit of a meme. I mean,
I like it. Sure,
it's not pro builds, you know, whatever.
I was like, oh wait, that's not a Titanic item.
Maybe Lavi's been testing the secret Phage Shen.
Or he's limit testing
too. He's getting Sunfire Cape, but I don't think you first item that against Kennen. Like I think that's a
Bomby Cinder's Bomby Cinder's usually a pretty good buy first, but rushing the Sunfire is probably not advised.
Good flash. But that mid lane flash is gonna be down for a while, and the only defensive it's one of the main defensive tools that Xerath has until he can get a locket online. So I'd hope to see, you know, Luden's locket on the next back, but I don't know if I have enough gold. Yeah, Adaptive Helm would have been kind of where I would go against Xerath, Kennen, or maybe even just like a straight up Spirit Visage is fine. I don't know how much healing he's getting on this team, or like from runes, but you know, it's never that bad. So we'll see. It looks like right now though, just opting for more damage and more all-in potential against the Kennen, who's already kind of finished a mobility item. I'd like to have seen the boots too, the MR boots come out, personally. Just because he's gonna get stunned up a lot this match. I feel like there's a lot of value to be had.
Sabian just ulting Jingo Unchained, and he is just getting popped. Shen ulti comes out though, but it's not enough to save Jingo Unchained.
Ugh. Yeah, that's the power of just like having a slow to set up for your ultimate on Varus. So that slow makes it just easier than pie to hit. Yeah, the slam dunk. The big slam dunk. So Couch is going in, like, absolutely shredding Labby.
Yeah. Labby with no MR is not having a good time against this Kennen. That is almost 40 CS up on him.
40 CS up and a tower with full plates up as well. Don't forget that. Well, I think 3 of them were half plates to Jarvan, but even so, like,
it's a lot of
gold.
Yeah.
How
you got about 1.3k. We could check that stat.
Yeah, we could check that. It's just a ton of gold, so he's gonna have a really rough time in the split push.
Yeah.
Not gonna do much, I don't think, at all this game until team fights really start popping off and he can get there faster than Kennen.
Yeah, he is really far pushed up though. I'm surprised by the Associate Cat and Sluggish Slasher not looking to roam onto this Kennen at all. I mean, he is pretty speedy, but oh, and stops the back. Poor Labby.
There's a lot of times where you're playing top lane and you lose your first tower, and your team says, you know what, losing second tower isn't that bad. So they just kind of let it go. And I feel like that's what's happening here, because I don't think they want to try and contest the Kennen with ult up with multiple members, because Kennen can just either A, get away, or B, get some kills, you know?
Yeah.
The team just isn't strong enough, so they have to let this ride. Try and get a lead somewhere else, but I guess it's mid jungle.
Yeah, I mean, Corki has huge potential to carry this through mid game.
They're focusing a lot of resources there, but so is RET right now, so we'll see if they can get caught out by
hovering around this mid lane, but
yeah, the hover.
But Social Cat is pretty good at playing passive.
Okay,
oh.
baited.
Zach ulti coming
dead.
out.
Honestly,
yeah.
if Social Cat's able to get in there.
Yeah, they're just gonna back out of this.
Yeah.
Just
it's the safer play, the more measured play, but
yeah. That's huge for HSS. They were able to convince him out of a 3v2, so
yeah.
You know. Oh, and
Zach. trying to say you can't ult my mid laner.
Yeah, just Zach things.
It's close, it's close. Triforce Shen is a chat call. And it is Triforce Shen. Like, we see the... I mean, yeah, dude, that is not a beta move, but... I mean, I still think MR Boots first might have been good. I don't know. If the Kennen keeps roaming, the Shen can get farm and come back. And they're both even level, so it's really not that bad. And does offer the damage if Zac ever comes up. But I see Zac right now just hovering bot side for these dragons. Yeah, Gurg and Seaman opting for the freeze here, which is good if Dragon wasn't up. But it's probably fine anyways, because right now their mid lane and jungle are off the map. So not a lot there they were going to do to respond to that anyways. So good dragon pickup though by HSS.
Indeed, indeed. Sluggish Slash kind of hanging around this bot lane, but looks like Red knows that the Zac's there, but they're still kind of hanging around. They see Corki with package. But Associate Cat's kind of in a pickle, but has a package that's sends Corki 1,000 feet, so... Shenol coming out, and this is going to be one hell of a fight. Beneficent being taken down by Violet Associate Cat. TP from Kennen. Kennen ulting. Nope, not ulting. Sluggish Slash almost going down. There it is. Holy hell. A Count. Huge flash ulti from him. And a double kill going over to Sivan.
Yeah, Kennen getting the big flash ult there. There might be an extra pickup from the dunk. Oh my god, look at Pikachu. Able to hit those shots. Really good looking. Jarvan putting out some damage too, but I don't think it's as much as Zera.
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for Kennen to.
He's online.
I was waiting for Kennen to ult. I'm like, TP, but didn't ult me. Like, and then there's the flash ulti, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
And so this is RAT taking good advantage of when their team is strong. You see, the Ludens completed in mid lane, an item and a half completed in bot lane, and they're grouping and just getting kills, getting towers. So they need to translate that into some more neutral objective secures. So I kind of like the Jarvan going for Rift Herald right now, which is what I'm seeing on the minimap. So hopefully they're able to secure that while everyone else on the map is backed. But I expect them to go mid here and just kind of ARAM until an hip goes down after they secure the Shelly.
Varus is on 2 items. This is gonna be a prime for sieging, and their comp's just really good at sieging, and also has some really good dive potential. If Kennen can get a stop while he's working on the Zanyas, so if Kennen can get a Zanyas, then they really have good potential to start diving. And oh, Sluggish Slash has discovered Beneficent, and oh, Sluggish Slash takes it away. Beneficent's in some trouble. Gurg7 trying to help him out. Looks like there might be another fight here. Account's looking to ult the Zac, but Sluggish Slash is going to get out with that Rift here. But Beneficent's going back in, and he Old Violent Sociocat, but Violent Sociocat burning stopwatch for no reason and gets taken down for it. That is unfortunate. They did get the Rift Herald though.
That RAT needs to make. They force the fight over the Rift. Even though it gets stolen here, they're gonna end up picking up 1 to 2 towers just based on mid laner being down 20 seconds. No one can contest all this poke.
Yeah, they don't really have wave clear either.
I mean, they're sending Shen down, but that's going to free up a count to try and get tier 2. So, yeah, we can question ping Desanias. Don't worry, Siren. Yeah, it was a big play, but I'm sure it had to feel like they were redeeming themselves with the couple of kills picked up on their behalf. So, good job, Bud, ending up turning a bad play. You know, not a bad play, but just like a bad situation into a good one for his team. Able to get some damage on the mid tower.
It's a great turnaround. Account's in a bit of a pickle here, poking his head where he shouldn't, but that blast cone somehow just worked perfectly for him.
That was the wonkiest blast cone I think I've ever seen.
Just went like straight up in the air. I don't even know.
Ward fight.
Corki is now at 2 items at this Mana Mune and Triforce, so
yeah.
Corki's going to be doing a lot of damage, but not as much as a Xerath and Varus, unfortunately. Beneficent getting kind of caught out here by Slaga Slasha. He is, but looks like he's just going to be able to walk out of this one.
Yeah, Caitlyn's still waiting on about 2 items to really come online, I would say. Just the Stormrazor alone is strong, but I feel like it's not as good quite as getting IE rapid fire in this case. So I'd like to see a rapid fire cannon or an IE built from Galen.
Gurg 7 poking his head where he shouldn't. Looks like he's gonna get caught out here potentially, but Account's in for the rescue, but doesn't take the Caitlyn ulti.
Dude,
that's unfortunate. Oh, oi.
Caitlin's the American sniper on this squad.
Yeah.
Watch out. Able to weave that ultimate.
Varus ulti landing. Oh my gosh, where did Jabberwock go? I do not know.
that's lethality and AP pen.
And Slaga Slasha going in, and oh my gosh, huge teamfight Account with a massive cannon ulti. Corki's in great positioning, diving level 50 Pikachu, and Beneficent is just burning on the Corki package, and that is a huge teamfight for Hashling and Slash. God, I can't even say that team name. HSS. They're gonna get a dragon for it.
They wanted. See, before the fight even started, they took out Gurg, who's the main peel for the team, and that's sort of why these tanks said, you know what, they have nothing they can do, so they just go in hard. Their tanks try and go in hard. The cannon and the Jarvan try and go in hard, but they get out-kited by Jingo because he has natural kiting, and Varus and Xerath just blow up. Just nothing they can do. 2 tanks on top of us, it's over.
Yeah.
So Gurg 7's really got to be a little bit more aware of their value to this team and getting caught out. So I expect them to have very low deaths from this point onward if their team wants to win.
Yeah, he really is a really valuable disengage tool for them against the Zac, against Corki. With that Tornado and Ultimate, it can prevent so much hard engage. So.
Right, and if they're able to do it and execute, that champ surprisingly I think has a high level of execution in this game against these two engage tanks. So I expect to see a high level from a play from Gurg. A good Rift got the tower down to below 1/3, so that won't regen or anything. I don't even know if first towers do regen, but I remember they made a change and there were lines and stuff. So I think that's right. So yeah, that's some good poke on the tower. They're looking to try and contest mid. Gold on both teams, looking honestly rather even at this point. 2k almost 2k gold lead for RAT, which isn't theoretically valuable, but especially because there's 3 dragons on the side of HSS. That dragon soul could be huge.
Yeah, Mountain Drake for that team is gonna make them incredibly beefy, and it's gonna and poke Virus again. They don't really have the DPS to sustain these fights against these tanks is the problem. Yeah. So I think Mountain Soul would be really tough for him. Also, Mountain Soul with the shield preventing kind of eliminating poke value a little bit.
The longer they're able to sustain the poke phase and the uncertainty, the better that team is going to do. So we'll see how they can play around the cooldowns that Zach is going to put forward. Low 50 Pikachu stepping up here against Zach. But Zach's on a ward, so expect... Oh! Good stun. Good flash, good. Just out of there, but had to blow flash. Pushed up a little too far without the team.
Yep.
And Janna was back, so they're all back fresh for a dragon fight. Just in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think a key point in this next fight is so Corky packaged like 2 or 3 of the teammates on the side of Rhett kind of just stood in the Corky burn zone, which really just shredded their team. Like a lot of people underestimate that damage, and they're like, you know, it's just the trail that Corky leaves behind. I can't do that much, but it's almost like a Rumble ulti in of itself. It is very, very brutal.
And I think it's funny the design decision around the package was just, you know what? Corky doesn't deal enough damage. Let's give him a Rumble.
Oh, Sivan's getting caught out a bit here. That's gonna, but he flashes out, and Shen's diving in, but Girk7 again with a great disengage. And here comes Magnificent with the TP from Account. This is a huge flank. Oh my gosh. Really well played by Rhett. Very, very close to Sivan getting caught out there, but they managed to get him out, so great by them.
That takes the 2 tanks out, and that was going to be the main concern for this poke team. So they're going to be able to take up this Baron with little to no resistance. I expect.
I don't like this Baron call. I think it's quite a bad idea.
Account can zone, and the Baron should go down. Okay.
They just take forever to do it. Is my main problem with it, because you know you have a poke virus, so.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna say their speed on this is great. It looks like Account's trying to look for the poke here. Look for the pick. The flash in from Account.
Oh my gosh, Account is huge. Oh, what a play from Account! Incredible. Oh, he's about to die to the Baron though. They do secure that Baron. Wow.
Big plays made from Account. Good job keeping the carries out of the fight. There was a little bit of hope there when they got very low, but really, really strong play. Not too much to worry about with the tanks being down, just the damage.
Yeah, DAD2 was doing a pretty good look there, but Account was just too huge with that ultimate, and then the perfect Zanya is just in time for the Varus Q to come in and finish DAD2 off. So.
Yeah, and the Varus did a lot to help support the Janna in getting the peel off. You know, getting the flash down, landing the ultimate onto, I think it was Zach. So that all helped. Oh, Zach got caught out and just insta-blown up. Just not enough.
And that's really, really poor timing. Soul Point's coming up, and they're not going to be able to contest this Soul Point now.
Well, I'm also just curious, Zach opting for like a pretty supportive build with the Knight's Vow included. I guess that's to make up for the fact that the support is going for basically all damage. But I feel like if Zach just went for tankier items, they'd be in a much better spot. And also, same thing for Labby. I feel like if Labby went for tankier items, this team would be on its way to scaling past what RAT is doing. But honestly, with the damage and the supportive items from Zach, I don't think they're going to have the tankiness to put up with this team before the game ends.
Yeah, I just don't know why Shen built a Triforce, but Magnificent getting caught out by going just a bit too far up. You can't do that as a Jarvan that's you know, doesn't really have any tank items yet.
Yeah, as a bruiser and a poke comp. Yeah.
You're more of a counter engage than anything, honestly.
Look at this. They're just zoning them off the tower. Like look at that poke. Slash going in, but getting Janna tornadoed. It's so frustrating.
Sivan ulting Zach, and oh my gosh, where did Zach go?
Right, and that's the problem. Zach has Knight's Vow. Like, I feel like if that was a Spirit Visage in this game, that would be a lot more value.
Yeah, I agree. They're gonna get this bot inhib, so it's looking quite good.
They might get the game here. I mean, honestly, I don't see much contesting them if they just keep poking, except for almost getting sniped by Caleb.
Yeah, Sivan's a little low on mana, but
maybe they back away now.
Yeah. Gosh, Sivan's almost at 4 lethality items, so that is scary.
Yeah, this
scary
is
strong.
Varus, very ahead, very strong. This is what you want to see on the poke Varus comp. Yeah, instead of Nights, I should have built Triforce. To be honest, if they all had damage, How do you win? Tons of damage.
Yeah, I don't know why Shen
Would be
only
good
stopped
play.
at 1 Triforce. Yeah, I could have just built 2 Triforces. Well,
Yeah.
So.
No, I wanted to see 5. This, to be honest, it's good on all their champs.
Triforce is the most gold efficient item in the game, right? So
Right. Yeah.
might as well build
Even
6
without
of
the
them.
mana, who needs that?
Yeah, right. Mana champs are lame anyway.
Yeah, mana sucks, dude. Give me energy all day. Oh, Ali getting flashed on in the mid lane. Oh no.
And Ali going down. Good pick out there by Rhett.
Yeah. See, that's what Budnificent's like expecting when they go in. That's not what they saw the last time, but this time it was like, oh yeah, you're going down, kid. So
Yeah,
Ali
my
just keeps
associate
kicking
cat
down.
was just a little bit too far out from
Right.
team, so.
Well, and now it's time to just poke them out. Just these champs are all sitting under tower.
Yeah. I'm
Should be
surprised this
relatively
is only a
simple.
6k gold lead. That's feels like it's a lot
Oh.
more than that.
And I
Yeah.
think that's just the efficiency of the items that they get to build.
Yeah, it's
like,
true. Varus, yeah.
Especially with Varus, and then Xerath also has a 20 stack Magi's.
There goes Jabberwock just sitting under tower, and Varus ulti landing onto Zac. Caitlyn having to flash away. Slugga Slasha going in, but not really going to be able to do much. Kennen killing Caitlyn out of screen. Account's in a bit of trouble, but Zanya's and is alright. They're going to get a second inhib here, but I don't think they're going to get much else. And they'll back off and wait for Drake.
I think it's smart to back off here, yeah.
Yep.
Drake's coming up, minute 42. Baron's up in a minute 25 as well, so they have some time to maybe get top lane pushing. Get the minions moved up there and secure vision on the top side before moving to Baron. Yeah, wasn't there support there a second ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was. I mean, just all of these champs, though, on the side of HSS have built not very tanky. I mean, Zac's finally getting some health now, which is good to see. It's going to be tough, though, against now 22 stack Magi's and almost a death cap.
Yeah, that's good. That's a big
from
Xerath.
Pikachu. Like, that's a huge Xerath.
Yeah.
That's a huge Varus. Your team needs to get both resistances, and they need them quick.
And they need this Mountain Drake too.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be really rough until they can get those resistances. But, you know, slowly but surely this game's coming to a head where it's almost going to turn. I can look at these teams and look at the health that they have and the items they're starting to buy, and I can see that, you know, the late game, it's almost there. So if they can hold out for another 7 or 8 minutes on the side of HSS, weather the storm, clear the waves, get the gold they need, they'll be at a 3-item Caitlyn.
Oh, Count going in, but doesn't have Zanya's up, gets the ulti landing down, and Jabberwock just disappears again. Bio Associate Cat diving in, but it's a little bit separated from the team's gonna have to W out. And Cvan's kind of way out of position. He is so far away from his team. I don't know where he's going, but he's going somewhere. But Xerath gets a snipe, and down goes Cvan to Violet Sociocat.
That's huge. I mean, yeah, one team fight is swinging this, and I think, you know, even though it was a 1-for-2, they got a huge shutdown on Cvan. It was 600 gold. So that's really big. So HSS might be clawing their way back into it just through sheer force of our items are going to do a lot more than how many you have. If we're going to be tanky, it's going to be tough to beat us.
Yeah.
That's second Mountain Drake for the side of RET. Still using their advantage pretty well to secure the objectives. And now they're securing some vision around the Baron. I'd like to see maybe some of the members back here. Just gold up a little bit. But it looks like they might be opting for the cheese instead.
But so she
Ali
catch
trying to scout
Jabberwock
out the
clearing out.
cheddar.
There,
Oh,
they might
goodbye,
die
Ali.
here
Goodbye,
though.
Ali. Goodbye,
And
goodbye.
that's a oh my god.
What's the fort?
I feel like Jabberwock has died in like half a second death windows each time.
And Jabberwock's just had a rough game.
Yeah.
This champion in the sport role, it's really good, but just it doesn't fare well into early poke. They're not doing this very fast either. So
No.
Zach
Zach does have the same smite as Jarvan, so there's some decent chance for a steal here if like,
Ooh, a Cout's doing a good job though. Just,
Yeah,
like,
it's really
keeping
good
them
zoning.
away. Really good zoning,
Yeah.
very strong.
and they didn't have
A
any
Kaut
vision
played
on
that
it.
really well.
Yep.
Yeah. A Kaut did a really good job there. That was probably the best zoning I've seen in a while. just was able to keep the Zac at bay. The team did not group on it, and they have to go back and defend their base too because these minions, they are relentless.
Indeed. Bot inhib did just come back up though, so that'll relieve him a little bit. They don't really have the best wave clear on the side of HSS.
No, yeah,
Corki's
I
a
mean
little
it's mostly
bit.
auto attack based,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be kind of rough. I mean, this Baron buff, they are going to be looking for an engage.
Yeah.
Basically, as soon as they can see something optimal to go for, the Zac has to look to go in because they're not going to survive a Baron push from top lane or from bot lane, depending on where RET decides to go. If they can't get the kills and make them back off.
Yeah. I think this Corki is incredibly strong right now at 4 items. I mean that's. If Violet Associate Cat can get the, oh my gosh, Jingo Unchained almost getting 100-0 by the, oh my gosh!
That's not the pick you want to see. Oh no. That means that bot lane inhib is essentially RETs.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're going to take it down here. And that's just a lot of damage, and knowing that your ultimate has that much power, you know,
Cout's in some trouble here. He's having to run away from Labby.
It's the power of the Triforce.
Gets taunted, but his team is here, and now Shen gets taken out probably. But they're looking for a counter engage. Violet Associate Cat though having to jump out, and now they are completely separated. Zac bouncing around and picks up a kill onto Kennen, but they are still pushing, and that's a 3-for-1 there. Might be the game.
Turns out built 2 tank items and is too big. He's too big for Corki, which is kind of funny. Not something I expected to see. But yeah, ended up being big, being beefy, and hard to take down. Zoned that Corki off the fight.
Right.
So that's the 3 and hit push. Looks like they're gonna back off, I think.
God, they could honestly just end, but interesting going in onto Jingo and Shay. Oh my gosh!
The Xerath damage. Yeah, that looks like it's game, man.
That is
the
brutal.
Baroned up supers.
Yeah.
Pushing in the waves. Wow. I mean, just.
Oh, Violet Associate Cat with the package though. It's gonna be a lot of wave clear, but taking a lot of that's a dead Corki.
Yep. And that's just they played into their win condition well and were able to kind of secure this game before it got out of hand with the tanks becoming too big.
Indeed.
So I think RET safely has this one in hand. Yep, it looks like the Baron mains are going to finish it off for him. So a good game for both teams. Almost there. HSS just almost scaled up to the right level and had RET, but wasn't quite there. Some of the itemization I think we felt was a little wonky. And so the efficiency and the straightforward poke plan from RET wins the day. So it was pretty good. Yeah, should have gone Raze. I know, Greg, you're not top fragging this. I'm sorry, bud. You're 0-3, bud.
Jeez, 40k damage from Varus and Xerath.
Yeah, that's about right. That is about right. I mean,
that is absurd.
And damage dealt, or physical damage, or damage taken. Let's see.
It might have been
damage taken. It looks like Zac was the biggest tank, and he was the biggest tank all game. But Beneficent coming in a close second with that. So overall, guys, I'm going to make a straw poll really fast. Tell me who you think won MVP or will win MVP. See, personally, for me, it's tough to give an MVP. I think they all played very well. I'd be looking at Sivan. Just the way he played was very good. He stayed relatively safe against a lot of the hard engage. Yeah, there's 3 deaths, but honestly, a very, very good AD carry performance for Sivan. And he didn't just have to right click. He was playing a champion that has abilities. So,
I mean, it's just a straight line skill shot. Yeah, I mean,
it's just a straight line.
I mean, that's Xerath though. Also, that's all it's Xerath.
Yeah, so it's all straight line skill shots for them.
It's League of Legends, right clicking and straight line skill shots.
Yeah. But...
Trade right click for left click. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Count had some incredible plays at Baron. Although not doing the most damage, but he just had some really pivotal plays around Baron and some really key counter engages that I really think turned the fight. Also, 3 comments on the side of I just realized that 3 comments on the side of Rhett. That's just funny looking. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, 3 comments. Yeah, comment is not the most picked. It's usually the conqueror. You
Yeah.
know, I posted the straw poll in the chat. I can't send identical messages within 30 seconds, so you only get one. Wait
Yeah.
a minute, I can cheat the system. Yeah,
I know we don't have to cut, but I think I'm gonna cut anyway because I want to
yeah.
leave and
Just
get
got
some
to fix
stuff.
the stuff. So awesome. Well, vote in the game one MVP. Let us know who you think it is. Honestly, it's a bit of a head scratcher. I'd probably give it to C-Van though, even though exclamation point ADC. Um,
Yeah, there's
so yeah,
some
let me know. Let me know who you think.
really
All right,
good
and we
solo
can.
performances, but yep, we'll cut it
Yeah.
and see you back for game 2.